There's no way I can zoom a crowd across there like I was just doing with the camera. Hey guys, Friday evening I'm down at the local park. I was just on on my new camera, zooming. It is super hard to zoom and stay on, keep your shot or stay zoomed in a certain area that you find without a tripod. It is super hard to do. Now I'm trying to find that I found a brown or I don't know, real light brown being leaning around the tree looking at me, and now I can't find him because I switched to my phone, and obviously I can't zoom all the way across with my phone. And they were messing with my zooming on something was manipulating my new camera. I'd zoom out and I couldn't zoom back in, and then I couldn't find what they call feather zoom. I couldn't do that. It wouldn't let me. I'd have to go back. I'd have to go right, left with the zooming switch before it would move. And then it still didn't a couple times. I had to sit there and hold it. But it's raining. You probably can see a few drops. I'm underneath I guess it's a gazebo here at the park. I just wanted to come down. I couldn't sit in the house, so I figured I'd come down here. I didn't feel like getting all muddy and nasty at the farm. And I know I went through there this morning, just drove through, and the creek was flooded, so I know my path is underwater. Hopefully tomorrow morning when I get up it's not raining. They're calling for 80% chance, but it's also 45 degrees out now. It's the temperature's been dropping all day. I see a lot of stuff back in those woods, a lot. I don't go in there, but I go to that backstop where the bleachers are, and I'll stand on that fence line and shoot across. And I've seen some amazing things over on that wood edge. But right through those woods, probably not 100 yards, is a neighborhood. It's all private back there. But the river runs right around that. The river comes right around here. Actually, the river is right there. You could probably see it through that hedge line. This hedge line right here isn't that wide down there. It's maybe 50 foot wide. But as you get down this way, past this, that house is, by the way, on the other side of the river. Both of those houses are. They just look like they're closed on this side, but they're not. I don't want to stay on their houses. I got people behind me sitting in their cars. But this down here, this area, it widens, and it goes all. Look at that. It gets wider as it goes down. As I follow down, and then that house way over there, that's on the other side of the creek, but that's up in a neighborhood, and it just keeps getting wider and wider as you go down, and it turns into like a meadow, like at my place where I'm always zooming across the creek. It's kind of like that over there, or down that way. So, and there's usually 30-40 deer standing out there, but not today. The other day when I was here and I had Molly, we counted 27 that ran across the road right here. And they came out of that field, and they came right on across here by the tennis courts and the basketball courts, and stood right there. So I know they got plenty to eat over here. I'm seeing all kinds of stuff, guys. I'm sure you guys will be able to pick out some crazy things. I see some strange, what I call strange cartoon characters down here a lot, and there's a lot of tree breaks and structures. I do find some of their language. And when I do, it's right along the field edge. It's not like up in the woods. At least I don't go up in those woods too often because of the ticks. The ticks are super bad in there because of so many deer bed up in that area. That's why I don't let Molly go up in there. And at least now I know why she wanted to go up in there the other day. Mrs. Linda G, she took some snaps. She found a bunch of different little things in through there. Oh, it was a small family of them. And in that area, my dog Molly May, she kept wanting to go up in there, and that's in the general area where the snaps were, the pictures were taken from. And now I know why she was so anxious. Like I was saying the other day, Molly thinks everything and everybody's supposed to be her friend. Let me, it's raining, man. I wanted to walk out a little bit, try to get a little closer zooms. Let me see if I don't want to get my camera wet. Hold on one second, guys. Let me put you guys on the tripod. My nose is running, it's cold. But I can't sit in the house. I don't want to sit in the house. Let me put my camera inside my jacket. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna walk out here a little bit. See if we can get some zooms. What is that? Oh, it's a sticker or some kind of tag. Maybe I can walk down to the corner of this fence and lean on it and get some good zooms. I'm really surprised that deer aren't out here. See somebody walking down the road. All right, let me see. Hold on, guys. Let me get situated here. It's a really strange shadow. It's that the wood edge is like really shadowing big time. I'm seeing a ton of faces. I tell you what, boy, what a difference from this camera to the actual digital camera that I just got. So much clearer the new camera is compared to this. And I mean, granted, I know right now I'm zoomed all the way out or in, and it's probably a good 150 yards out where I'm looking right now, center of the screen. So I mean, I get it, but your eyes get you get so adjusted to one thing that everything else, when you go to use something new, it looks so different. But there is some stuff going on in here. I knew it would be. I figured I could get in here and get some good zooming, good zooms, get a few pictures. Where did I see that brown being at? Oh, hold on. I think it's right in here. I think he's right there. I see something right there right now, but it's not the same color now as it was in my new camera. Let me see if I can walk over a little bit and see if I can get a better shot at this thing. He was big. He was like 10 foot tall. I'm not seeing. Yes, maybe. Hold on. See, I know as I go in. Look at that. Look at that limb right there. How it's. Hold on. See how it's circled? Isn't that crazy looking? That is wow. I'm trying to find that real light brown being that I got a shot of a minute ago. If I'm not mistaken, he's still right there. Let me see if I can point out around right in there. Excuse my fingers. I was cleaning some fish earlier. I washed my hands, but it looks like my fingers are stained or something. I didn't get to go fishing. My neighbor, he gave me some fish. I told him I'd clean them. Well, he said, if you want to clean some fish, I'll give you some. So I ain't gonna turn any fish down. Plus I kept a couple blue cats, smaller blue channels for the family up at my property, for the clan at my property. They haven't had any fish from me this year yet, so I figured tomorrow morning I'd give them a couple of those catfish. They really like the catfish. They like snakehead more than anything, I think. I've given them like a pile of fish before with 4 or 5 different types of fish in it, and they all stay there for a couple of days, and they'll pick off the pile. And then there's other times where they'll take all the snakehead and all the perch, and then they'll leave the catfish and come back and get the catfish like a day or two later. And then there's times where they just get everything. And you can't even find a scale. I mean, they clean everything up. And I know it's not raccoons or foxes, because I've documented footprints right where the pile was in the mud. I purposely put them by where the mud was, so I could see if I could get tracks. I haven't gotten like a dozen tracks or anything. I've gotten like, I think 3. So, but I do know that they look like juvenile feet. They weren't very big. They were 13. I think one was 13 and a half, almost 4 inches wide, and the other one was like 15. That's pretty big. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I've seen them back there 16 and 18. And Toby has a 16, every bit of a 16 to 18. I haven't fully determined which one's the 16 and one's the 18, but I feel Toby's the biggest. I've said it before. I think he's the biggest of the clan. I think he runs the show. Look down in that corner, guys. Look at that green head. Look at that. Look at that. Miss Linda G, I have spotted Indians here before, but this is the only place that I have. And, well, this was the only place until you spotted them up at the public land and at my place. But it took you to point them out to me for me to see them. Here, I spotted them right away in a couple shots. Mrs. Linda G, that last email you sent me, or it could have been the first one, and the last picture that was in that email, look to the far left behind a big tree with no bark on it, just like a grayish, real light gray big tree, bare looking tree. There's there's a being peeking around it. Not a big being, but you can see its head, and it looks like it has a bun, like a man bun in its hair, peeking around the tree at me. And when it was doing that, I was trying to answer Mike. My phone was ringing, and I couldn't, my hand was wet, and I couldn't slide the phone open to answer the phone. And when I went to look down to answer the phone, he tucked his head back behind the tree. That's how I know what it was. Now, I don't know if it was a spirit. I'm suspecting it was one of the Sasquatch, one of the kids, because it was tall, very tall. Just wasn't super wide. It wasn't one of those anywhere from 4 foot wide to 4.5, 5 foot wide beings, shoulder to shoulder. And the head wasn't very big either. That's why I suspected it was one of their kids, one of the juveniles. Alright guys, I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna try to get a couple more zooms with the my new camera, and then I'm gonna go home and go ahead and start uploading. It's probably gonna take all night to get 3 or 4 up. I guess I count my blessings that I get 1 or 2 up. Usually when it's raining and bad weather like this, our internet sucks bad. So I'm gonna do my best. I've never been this long without a video. I feel like I'm breaking the law. I need to get some videos up. Man, there's all kinds of stuff going on. I hope you guys can see what I'm seeing. Most of you do. 95% of you do. I think there's deer out there in that field. I can't see. I will here in a second. I go over to my other camera. Alright guys, appreciate you coming over, hanging out, checking out this video. If you don't mind, hit that like, subscribe, and share. And if you guys have any timestamps you want to share, throw them in the comments and we'll discuss them. Appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I'll see you on the next one.